What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So similar to yesterday with the Andre Drummond news, we also got the Blake Griffin news where the Pistons kind of are doing the same thing the Cavs are doing. Blake Griffin will no longer be playing until they can figure out what to do with his future, because Blake Griffin's future right now is very, very weird because his contract is just stupidly large, and obviously he doesn't fit in what Detroit wants to do anymore, and we don't know if there's a team that would be willing to take him on, and he's not having the best season either because the Pistons aren't playing him as much of an important role they used to when they obviously first traded for him. So it's a little weird for Blake Griffin's future. I'm not really sure what to expect out of this guy, so today I decided we're going to do a Detroit Pistons realistic rebuild. Try to be as realistic as possible today. Is there any team that would take on Blake Griffin and his contract, or the Detroit Pistons just gonna have to take the L and possibly buy him out? But today I want you guys to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, leave a like if you enjoy this one, and let's do this Pistons rebuild. 17 and 39 right now, if I could speak. Okay, so player stats. We have 17 from Jeremy Grant, 16 from Sadiq Bey. Obviously, Jeremy Grant's having a better season than that. I really wish there was a start today in 2K, but it's just not a thing. So Blake Griffin is out here, not even getting any minutes. The man is down to an 80 overall, which is just absolutely insane. So yeah, Blake Griffin, man, making literally 30-something million just to literally do nothing, man. So 36 million. Blake Griffin needs to get out of here. Bro, I'll look at the trade finder first. Like I said, is there any team that's going to be taking on Blake Griffin? 80 overall, 36 million is going to make it even harder to trade him here in 2K as realistically as possible. So I feel like there's a chance some team would take a flyer on him, but it would have to be a very, very desperate team. Or maybe a team like the Thunder would take him on if the Pistons gave them draft picks to do so. But I don't know if Detroit should be in the market to trade draft picks. Derrick Rose from the Knicks. Obviously, I don't think the Knicks would want Blake Griffin. Got the Nuggets maybe wanting to give us Will Barton and Gary Harris, and then there's the Al Horford deal where I guess if you look at it, okay, so I guess Blake Griffin's contract would expire sooner than the Thunder. So like something like this could happen, kind of similar to what it was like when it was a Russell Westbrook for John Wall swap. Something like that could happen if the Pistons want to do something like this. Maybe Al Horford would just, I don't know, man. Like, it's hard. It's really tough to predict what a Blake Griffin trade would be. So like the Russell Westbrook for John Wall trade was kind of interesting because obviously there was two guards on terrible contracts. Not to say John Wall and Russell Westbrook aren't great players. And then you got the Al Horford, Blake Griffin, who are similar guys where they, you know, Al Horford is definitely more productive right now than Blake Griffin is, but it's just a matter of what would you want to do here. So the Thunder would expire sooner, but the Thunder are also giving us a second round pick. So honestly, looking at it, this is the most realistic trade I can think of. Because the Thunder would get Blake Griffin, who would just expire a lot sooner than Al Horford would. Actually, technically, Al Horford's is a team option, so it doesn't really matter either way. But at least we get a second-round pick out of it. I don't know, man. Like, that is an interesting thought. We could do something like that. But if I can, I'll try to create my own trade to make something happen. But I just don't know how possible it's going to be, man. Blake Griffin's going to be very, very tough to trade for the Detroit Pistons, unless it's similar to what that we just got from the Thunder trade. But other than that, this is going to be rough to trade Blake Griffin. So I looked around the league, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I can't lie. It was just really, really impossible to find a trade that I think would make sense other than this one, which I'm not even sure if this 1000% makes sense, but this is the best we're going to get, I feel like. Maybe we get a second round pick for Blake Griffin or something like that. I don't know what Blake Griffin's trade value is. It's probably not very high as of right now because of his contract and what he's done this season. So we get a second round pick for him. I don't know how I feel about that, but like I said, Blake Griffin is one of those weird things where you just don't know what's going to happen. So we get rid of Blake Griffin, and we have Al Horford now, who is going to be, you know what, maybe a mentor a little bit to Isaiah Stewart or Jahlil Okafor, any of the young guys that we really have. So when I fix the rotation, we got DeLon Wright, Josh Jackson, Jeremy Grant, Sadiq Bey, Mason Plumlee, Al Horford, Wayne Ellington, Jahlil Okafor, Svi Mykhailiuk, Isaiah Stewart, Killian Hayes. So there's a lot we want to happen. So Killian Hayes has been out for a while, but I would love to see Killian Hayes rejoin the rotation. I'm not really sure if he's I think he's going to play again this season, but it won't be till later in the season. But to be honest with you, I love DeLon Wright and all, but I would rather see Killian Hayes get these minutes because I think he'll be back this season, if I'm not mistaken. And there's actually a lot of teams that have been kind of thinking about whether they want to try for DeLon Wright as well. 9 million, 2 years, 9 million. I think Philly was one of those teams that was kind of interested. So like they could give us Danny Green if looks a good starter for them though. So I don't know if they don't do something like that. Tony Snell and a second round pick. So we get a second round pick for DeLon Wright, and we get an expiring contract, and Atlanta gets a backup guard. That might help them out a little bit. That could definitely be interesting. We want to do something like that. PJ Tucker in a second round pick. Again, the Rockets get a backup guard, and PJ Tucker will just expire in the offseason, so I wouldn't mind that either. Then there's Mike Muscala, Ricky Rubio, Draymond Green, Danny Green. So I feel like Philly was one of those rumors that I saw the other day. I just don't know if there's any way to make this work. And okay, so maybe we do something like they give me Mike Scott. Okay, what would this? Okay, that's not gonna work. Let me see if I threw Roddy Magruder in here. Okay, they cannot take that. All right, let me try this instead. I'll give you this guy, and then you give me a second round pick. If they don't want to do this, that's fine. We'll just move on. And they don't agree, so you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and trade him to the Hawks, because we're gonna get a second round pick and an expiring contract. So DeLon Wright is gone as well. He gets to go play minutes elsewhere. So that's what our team looks like. Killian Hayes, Josh Jackson, Jeremy Grant, Sadiq Bey, Mason Plumlee, Al Horford, Wayne Ellington, Joel Okafor, and Svi Mikhailuk. Obviously, there's a lot of young players on this Pistons roster that I want to get minutes eventually, but I'm happy with what we got right now, and we're going to go ahead and just leave it the way it is. 17-39. Let's go. We spent enough time at the trade deadline. Let's simulate to the offseason and see what we can make of this team in the offseason. Jokic, which is actually really cool to see. But other than that, we sucked. We were trash, 22-60. So I think this is going to go ahead and kind of mark the end of the Dwayne Casey era here in Detroit. We're going to try to go in a different direction, hire a coach that's going to be a little bit more on the developing end. So let's go to league meetings and make sure we do just that. So for the draft lottery, we have a huge draft lottery here, but I'm not really sure. I always forget why the Rockets have the Pistons pick. Someone will have to remind me. I always forget why, but it is protected, I believe. So if it stays within whatever, I think we get it back. And yeah, so it stayed in the top 3. So our pick next year will not go to us. So we got to keep that in mind. And then we have the 3rd pick. So that's cool. So awesome. Coming out with the 3rd pick is definitely huge. But like I said, the coaching staff is going to change this offseason. Dwayne Casey, I'm sorry, but I got to let you go. I'll keep the head scout, whatever. So head coach, I kind of want a coach that was good at developing, and the immediate guy I think of for this roster that I think would definitely do nice things is Kenny Atkinson from the Clippers. He did a great job in Brooklyn developing some young talent there, so I would love to have him if possible. And then of course we really need an A trainer, because that is going to be huge. So let me sign both those guys, so that's great. And then we're going to grab Trent Peterson as our assistant, and then for the other assistant I'm going to go with Dion Blount, so we'll sign him. And that is going to be our coaching staff and our trainer, which a trainer was huge. So looking at our roster right now, we got Killian Hayes, Dennis Smith Jr., who they took a flyer on, which he didn't get any minutes this last season. Wayne Ellington, Josh Jackson. Wayne Ellington is probably someone I should have traded as well. He's had a good season for the Pistons, very good sharpshooter. So definitely probably should have taken advantage of some of his trade value. Jeremy Grant is somebody, I don't really know what the Pistons are going to do with him in the future. I feel like after this season, it would make sense to trade him. And maybe get a 1st round pick for him or so. So you know what? I think I kind of want to do that if possible. So Jeremy Grant, I'm going to go ahead and see what his trade value might be on the market. If I can get a 1st round pick or 2, that would be absolutely awesome. The Kings want to give me Tyrese Halliburton, which would be absolutely amazing, honestly. Emmanuel Quickley and a 1st round pick from the Knicks. We got Ross, Trey Burke, Joe Harris, Bol from the Nuggets, and the Nuggets wanted Jeremy Grant back, which they were wanting him back. They did offer him the same amount of money. So you got Bol coming over here to Detroit, which would be a lot of fun, actually. And then Jeremy Lamb, Jackson Hayes from the Pelicans. Jeremy Grant would actually be a really nice fit next to Zion, to be honest with you, but I'm not really sure how that would work, because Zion plays power forward, unless they move like Ingram to the 2 and Zion to the 4 or something, or to the 3. But and then the Thunder want to give him the 5th pick. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably take on, I kind of want to do, okay, so the Suns offered me Jalen Smith in a second. Okay, never mind. If that was a 1st, I definitely would have been down. Jackson Hayes is interesting, but I kind of like this trade. We get a 27-year-old Gary Harris who's going to expire, and we get Bol, who I think could definitely be someone interesting for us. But if I could squeeze a 1st round pick out of them as well, that would be absolutely fantastic. Let me see if I can get 2 from them. And they want Mason Plumlee and a 2nd. They give me 3 1st round picks. Okay, that's a little too much, I think. That's a little too much. We give you Mason Plumlee, Jeremy Grant. So these are 2 former Nuggets players I just thought about. And we get in the 2nd. They give me 2 firsts, 2021, 2024, and we agree to that. 3 firsts, I think it was a little hefty. But we got Bol, Gary Harris, and another pick in this draft. So that is definitely awesome. 3rd, 26. So we have 4 picks in this draft, something we love. And then Al Horford, he's probably just not going to play any minutes. If I could buy him out, that would be ideal, but I don't know how it would work. I don't know how 2K would handle it if I bought him out when he has a team option, so I'm not even going to risk it. I'm just going to probably just let him chill, I guess. So with the 3rd pick in the draft, we're on the board. And we have some options here. So Cade Cunningham slips to number 3. Detroit, I think this makes a lot of sense for him to take him here. If he slipped to number 3, I mean, you got to take him, right? So Detroit, Cade Cunningham, one of the best prospects in the draft this coming up. So Cade Cunningham, I know we have Killian Hayes at the 1 right now, but we can maybe work with that and maybe move them into the backcourt together. So yeah, I got to take Cade Cunningham with number 3, no doubt in my mind. So now going on to the next one, we have a 26 pick. I'm going to take a center here because I think we definitely do need some center depth, but I'm definitely excited to see what Bol could do, maybe in an increased role. So Cade Cunningham, number 3, Jalen Green with number 4, Kuminga number 5, and we got Cade Cunningham, Orlando Robinson. I'll definitely sign my first second rounder, and then boom, I like it. So player options, Rodney Magruder. There was a lot of talk with him and the Warriors in that one game. That's the only way I can remember Rodney Magruder. I wouldn't mind Dennis Smith and Steve Mikhailuk back if they want to come back. Steve Mikhailuk is a sharpshooter, so that's always valuable in today's league. And then for free agency, we probably have money to spend, but I will not be doing that because no big free agents come to Detroit. So Josh Jackson, okay, this is what I kind of want to do. So Sadiq Bey at the power forward, Al Horford, Isaiah Stewart, Okafor, Bol. We have a lot going on at the center. Jahlil Okafor is not going to be here much longer. He is not going to be part of anything crazy. Al Horford, he is not going to get any minutes here. If I could trade him, I would. Maybe there is a team that would take him on. He is an expiring contract, so there is a chance that maybe someone would be interested. So gotta scan the market real quick just in case. Cody Martin, Vernon Carey Jr. Honestly, this makes sense. The Hornets have Gordon Hayward, LaMelo. They might be on the look of maybe wanting to make something happen. So I'm going to go ahead and send Al Horford to the Hornets. It's honestly not that big of a deal for Charlotte. They're just trading Vernon Carey and Cody Martin, and Al Horford might help them with a playoff push potentially, and he's only on a 1-year deal, so I don't think it's that big of a deal for Charlotte. So looking at it now, Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes. So what I want to do actually is move Josh Jackson to the 3, and I also want to move Killian Hayes to shooting guard. Or should I move Cade Cunningham? I'm going to move Killian Hayes to shooting guard. Why not? So we're going to have Cade Cunningham and Killian Hayes in the backcourt. Gary Harris backing them up. We have Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, or Sekou Doumbouya, Josh Jackson, Sadiq Bey, and then the power forward we just drafted. And then we have a lot going on at the center, like I mentioned. We honestly could play Bol at power forward, but I think I'll leave him at center and throw some untapped potential at him. I want him to become a beast for us this season, if possible. I want him to start and see what he can do for us. But we do need a back. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, honestly, we can have a full rotation. I'm not going to spend anything in free agency, and we might end up getting back Dennis Smith Jr. and also Steve Mikhailuk. So yeah, those are going to be also parts of the rotation. So Killian Hayes up to an 81 overall, 8 overall boost, which is crazy because I did nothing to influence that, I promise, which is crazy. He went up 8 overall. That's just the kind of development he gets in 2K. But looking at the 2022 draft class, we're going to download that. And then the training camps, of course, are very important here. My first one I want to throw is Bol. Like I said, I just traded for him. I want him to become a huge part of Detroit. That would be a lot of fun. And then you got Killian Hayes. I'm going to throw on-top potential at him, of course. And then my other one, I think I'm going to throw this one at... I kind of want to throw it at Josh Jackson low-key. Or Sadiq Bey. Either one, because I want them to prosper. So I'm going to throw it to Sadiq Bey. Why not? Let's do that. And then let's go look at our full rotation. Hopefully, it looks interesting. So we have Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, Sekou Doumbouya, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, Josh Jackson, Bol. So I already don't like what we're doing here. I want Josh Jackson to start over Sekou, and I want Bol to start over Isaiah Stewart. So I'm going to have Isaiah Stewart be the 6th man, and then I'm going to have Bol. I want him to get like 33 minutes if possible, and then Josh Jackson 29 is fine. So this is the starting 5 I want to roll with. Jahlil Okafor. We have a backup center already. I'm going to go ahead and give... Actually, it doesn't really matter. You know what? I'll just leave it. I'll leave it the way it is right now. Proficiency 2 at defense. Obviously, we're going to move that because that is absolutely awful. So I'm going to move this to a balanced system, and then we're going to simulate season number 2 and see how things go. Hopefully, at the end of the season, we are a little bit better. We show some promise, and then maybe then the very next season, we make the playoffs. On the bright side, Cade Cunningham did win Rookie of the Year, so that's definitely awesome to see at least. But yeah, our team was still very trash, which is fine, honestly. Looking at the player stats, we had 24 from Cade Cunningham, 17 from Killian Hayes, 13 from Isaiah Stewart, 12 from Sadiq Bey, and 11 and 9 from Bol. Hopefully Bol even gets even better. He averaged 2 blocks per game as well, which is very nice perimeter, or inside defense, I should say, defense at the rim, but we sucked still. So obviously the playoffs are not for us. If I can at least just get this team back to the playoffs, I feel like that is a W in itself, because obviously Detroit might not be there for a while. DeAndre Ayton, Finals MVP for the Phoenix Suns. Very nice. Phoenix Suns go on to win the championship. For the draft lottery, this one's going to hurt because we are, oh my, I didn't mean increase salary cap 5 million. Okay. And then players are eligible to enter the draft to reach 18 years of age. I gotta turn those off, man. I always forget. But draft lottery time. So unfortunately, our pick's gonna go to Houston this year. Which if it gets number 1, I'm gonna be pissed. Yep, it's the number 1 pick in this draft. So L, big L, big L, big L. Okay, so we do not have our pick. It was the first pick in the draft. That is terrible. Not ideal at all, but you know what? It is what it is. We'll be fine. NBA draft. Yeah, number 1 pick would have been nice here. Very nice, honestly. We could have taken anybody, but we do not have it, so we're just gonna have to move on. And we don't have a single draft pick in this draft. That is definitely an L for a rebuilding team, but it is what it is. So player options, we have Killian Hayes, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart, Sekou Naboya, and then our power forward that I always don't know how to say his name. Qualifying offers, I don't want Cody Martin or Saban Lee back, but Svi and Bol Bol, obviously are 2 guys I really want back, especially Bol Bol, because we just took a flyer on him. Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, backcourt is looking better. Sekou Naboya, 78 overall, Sadiq Bey, and then, okay, so that looks good. Isaiah Stewart and Orlando Robinson. So I want Bol Bol back, ideally, and then I like what we got going on. So honestly, I kind of just want to re-sign our guys. So free agency, Bol Bol wants $25 million. Not really something I want to give him. Josh Jackson is somebody I definitely want back, though. Gary Harris only wants $2 million, which isn't crazy, honestly, for a backup shooting guard. But I do want Josh Jackson back. I think he's deserved it. So, but we could either sign Svi Mikhailuk back for $9 million, who's 25, or we could sign Gary Harris back, who's 28 for $2 million. So I think I'm going to sign Gary Harris for a 1-year deal. And then I'm going to so Josh Jackson, we're going to bring him back. So that's good. And then we're going to, maybe Svi Mikhailuk comes back on his qualifying offer again. I don't know if he's restricted again or not. Josh Jackson, Gary Harris, and of course, Bol Bol is out here now wanting a bag. And I am just not ready to give that to him just yet. But yeah, Svi Mikhailuk is restricted. So he might end up being back. So we'll have to see if Bol Bol gets an offer. If he does, I'm going to match it just based off his potential. But he is not, and hopefully he's just backed on his restricted free agency offer. And he is. Awesome. Okay, so player progression, 87, 85, 82, 81, 81, 79, 79. So the team is progressing well. I think we have a chance of possibly being a little bit more interesting than the previous years. Maybe we can sneak into the playoffs. Maybe. But if not, you guys will see. Hopefully we're a playoff team this season, but I'm not 1,000% sure we're ready just yet. Like we were literally heading towards the lottery once again, but we eventually turned the season around and we made the playoffs as a 7th seed in the East, which is progression if you ask me. So I'm very, very excited about that. We went 44-38 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 44-38, and we're the 7th seed in the East, which isn't bad, man. I'm very happy with what we were able to do. 28 points from Cade Cunningham is amazing. We had 18 from Killian Hayes, 15.5 from Sadiq Bey, 15 from Isaiah Stewart, and 12.5 from Bol Bol, and also chipped in 2 blocks again. Sekou Naboya with 11, Josh Jackson with 9, Svi with 6, and Gary Harris with 4. Looking at our rotation, what we were kind of rolling with, it was Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, Sekou Naboya, Sadiq Bey, Bol Bol, Isaiah Stewart, Josh Jackson. I'm going to fix a rotation for the playoffs and kind of see what happens. So Sekou Naboya did take over the small forward spot. I love Josh Jackson, but I guess he is just not good enough to start for some reason, but it is what it is. So we are playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. I don't know if we beat this team. They are the 2nd seed. They have Garland. They still have Kevin Love, which really bothers me. They still have Drummond as well, who is probably going to be traded for Cleveland. And then they have Jarrett Allen, Cam Thomas, Devontae Graham, Derek Favors. So let me go ahead and simulate game 1. We do win it. So that's actually a really good start of things. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 goes to us. Okay. Game 4 goes to them. Do we win game 5 here? Do we win game 5? Nope, 3-2. And could we maybe push this to 7? If we can do that to 7, that would be huge. And maybe, just maybe, we can even move on to the second round. Okay, so it looks like we are going to push this to 7 games. 29, 8, and 6. So we are going to a game 7 in the first round against Cleveland, which is absolutely amazing. Because the last few times Detroit's been to the playoffs, I feel like they've been swept each time. So this is definitely progression from a franchise that has definitely not tasted the playoffs for quite some time. And we are, looks like, oh, we beat them. We literally just upset the 2nd seed in the Eastern Conference. I would have a little fast there, but box score numbers, 26-17 from Cade Cunningham, literally our savior. Killian Hayes, 23-7. And now we're playing the New York Knicks, who are another team that's definitely impressing this season. We have Kyle Lowry on the Knicks, BJ Boston, RJ, Obi Toppin, Mitchell Robinson, Greg Brown, Emmanuel Quickly, Derrick Rose. So we'll have to see if we can beat this team. This is definitely a really good team on paper. They are the higher seed still. They upset the 3rd seed Chicago Bulls. Simulating game 1, they win 1-0. Game 2 goes to them as well. So I don't really want to go down 2-0 or 3-0 if possible. So let's see if we can even it up here. Possibly win our next 2 games here in Detroit. But it looks like the Knicks are going to obliterate us, and they do 110-85. So one last simcast. I would love to get at least 1 game on the Knicks. I would love to not get swept here if possible, but we'll have to see if we're able to do that. And it's looking good thus far. And we are going to beat them 96-135, 31-6-9. So at least we don't get swept. Who knows? Maybe we even make a 3-0 comeback. That is not crazy. That is something that has happened here for me. So let's see. All right, can we win game 5 here? It's not looking like we can. So at least we get it. We didn't get swept. We won, or it was 108-131. So definitely showed some promise this year, which means we have to go 1 more season, right? We just lost to the champions, it looks like, from the Knicks, who absolutely swept the Atlanta Hawks. But I feel like we got to go at least 1 more year. Progression should treat us well. I think I'm going to try to keep the roster relatively the same. We're going to sign Bol back. Everything will be just great, and we'll be back in the playoffs in no time, I think. Eastern Conference. So, if nothing else, we at least made Detroit a respectable basketball team in this video. So, 28 from Cade Cunningham, 22 from Killian Hayes, and 14 from Bol, and 13.6 from Isaiah Stewart, 13 from Suku Doumbouya, and 12.5 from Deke Bay, and 8.5 from Josh Jackson. So, looking at it, we are playing the Chicago Bulls. Jalen Suggs, Oladipo, Patrick Williams, Lauri Markkanen, Wendell Carter, Kendall Brown, and Brian Antoine. So, this could be a tough game, or a tough series. We're up 1-0, though. They even it up with us. They're up 2-1, so that is not a good sign. Let's go ahead and fix the rotation. So, apparently, Saddiq Bey was holding us back, so let me go ahead and change that. And we're down 3-1 still, so we might not end up winning a championship in this video, but like I said, we at least made Detroit a respectable basketball team. And if we're being realistic, I don't think Detroit's going to win a championship here in the next 4 years anyway. So, 28, 4, and 6, Cade Cunningham, very nice, man. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get a championship in this video, which is not that big of a deal because, like I said, it's not possible to get a championship in every video. But Ja Morant and the Grizzlies won a championship over the Chicago Bulls. And once again, we did lose to the team that went all the way to the NBA Finals, not to mention. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. What is going to happen with Blake Griffin? What's going to happen with Detroit? Other than that, it's Crushables. I'm saying peace.